Hi everyone. Today is October the 16th. My name is Anne-Marie Band and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. If we take a look at the daily in the ES first, we can see that we almost completely retraced Monday's candlestick. And here we are on Wednesday, just a little bit above the close of Wednesday's trading day. And so the key event is going to be, can we stay above the low of yesterday and sort of chop on the inside, because Tuesday's candlestick was definitely an inside candlestick formation. Value area high to low is extremely wide on the daily chart. And if we go into the hourly, we can see a couple of things. Yesterday, the 6 p.m. opening candlestick literally defined the high of the day. Today, it's defined the low of the day, and we're getting ready to break out above the London open, or the London high, and out in this space. We've got a low volume profile here. This is a breakout formation that's going to go into resistance in general, because we've got this downward slope. We have the slopes turning just a little bit, so pullbacks are buy zones, and we'll have that as our formation to the upside right there. And so we're looking at a potential retest of 58.80 to 58.87 in the ES, as long as we can keep the clear breakaway here. All right, so my thought is range, breakaway, and then a potential pullback to retest the break and a continuation back up into the congestion area. All right, if that is not the case, we will go to the point of control and then lose that area 58.54, then to the value area low at 58.49, and here we are back at, I think this is probably the midnight candlestick formation from several days past. I'm going to put it right here just so we remember that's sitting there. That's that midnight candlestick formation. All right, so we are in a potential breakaway pattern. We've got momentum. We've had sideways motion, so we should be moving back up to 58.87. That is what price action looks like. Pullbacks will be buy zones in this formation, but we can't break support. All right, taking a look at the NQ. Same sort of formation today, but yesterday's candlestick was not an inside candlestick. It was actually a reversal candlestick. So a bounce higher into the upper ranges, maybe 20,600, looks like potentially a selling opportunity. Why? Well, it's a mixed bag, really. We'd go either way, certainly bouncing from south here to north. This is a clear buy zone, 20,322. It's showing up over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of 7 trading days as a bounce area into resistance. And so that's important to know. Here is the hourly formation. We can see we've got a low volume node right here in the middle of the range. Value area is very wide for a 1 hour chart, okay, especially with the pre-market action. Here is the midnight high. We just tested the bottom of it and rejected it, but there is upside pressure that's possible. Notice this is the 4 a.m. candlestick, and the opening tick candlestick at 6 p.m. yesterday is still the low. All right, so breaking up over the midnight high means that we get back into 20,440. We've got trend. Remember, when we print above a hull, a near-term floor is being made, and when we print below a hull, a near-term ceiling has been made, and we've got both of those examples. So the best bet is the dip that you can buy into resistance and then potentially a breakout area all the way up to maybe 20,400, maybe 20,497. Let's take a look at the YM. From the daily chart, same sort of thing. Outside candle formation. Well, that's a retrace. That's a complete retrace. And we are inside of yesterday's candle. Could be sideways, could be very noisy, but certainly what we can see is that if we come into 42,983, buyers have been showing up there. So if they stop showing up there, that's a critical symbol. That's a signal. Let me make sure that this is all time frames. Great. All right, let's go to the hourly. The hourly doesn't quite show by the dip like the daily, but we can look at it. You might go, ooh, Anne-Marie, doesn't that look like a potential head and shoulders forming? It could be, but I don't like using those things, right? So here's what we're looking at. It came in, lost the value area low, immediately recovered it, began to build a base. Okay? We've got the hull, the green hull underneath us as support. We've got upward trend. This is just starting a breakaway. This is a long price action event. Any pullbacks will be into further buy zones. It'll take us up to 43.75 and then 43,100. And then potentially the high of the 4 a.m. candlestick yesterday, 43,158. Oh, excuse me, day before yesterday. All right. So I am thinking this looks like a sideways day, but certainly breaking out of this range. This is long price action. We've got momentum. It's a dip buy, and you can see the floor being somewhere around $43,004. All right. If we lose that, we've got all the way to the value area low, where they're going to try and buy it again because we're above both hulls and we're above the VWAP. So any kind of pullback allows the people at the VWAP formations to go, okay, I'm just going to add right here as I collect on the way up. All right, big pocket of accumulation here. It could get very noisy in this patch. I'm not really sure, but they are certainly distributing up here. They did a whole lot of distribution up there at the 43,441 to the value area high. Oh wait, this has slipped since I came back. Hang on. Value area high just got wider to the upside, which confirms the fact that it is a buy the dip formation, right? If the value area high continues to increase, we've got upside formations pressing towards us. Value area low has stayed the same. Let's take a look at SPY. We've got, let's go to the daily first. That 8 o'clock candlestick is still forming. The daily, I don't want this on all time frames. The daily formations are all similar. There's nobody that's outpacing the other. That's a clue, and it could tell us that everybody's in line to do the same sort of thing. And what is that? Dips or buy zones, 579.25. That's going to be a good area. Value area a little bit wide, but not really that wide compared to value areas sitting at the 1 hour chart. They're almost the same size, which is kind of a key, right? Here we are. We are above one hull, we're beneath another. So we're going to go from support to resistance, 79.25 to, 579.25 to 581.50. Dips or buys, momentum is up. The small hull is up. The VWAP is up, but we're in a cross current and we're building the 8 a.m. candlestick. Notice, yesterday's 8 a.m. candlestick gave us the high of the day. So we have to pay attention to what happens here. If we break out of this 8 a.m. candlestick, we've got further upside into our 4 a.m. candlestick of the day before. That's 583. If we lose it, we've got the 4 a.m. candlestick way down here at, I gotta change this color. The 4 a.m. candlestick is way down here at 575.96. And the 8 a.m. candlestick is just above it at 577 on the top. Okay, so we'll need to watch that area as a floor of support. Oops, sorry, don't need to be retentive about that. Yeah, that's the floor of what's going on here. All right, lastly, we've got the Qs. Very wide formation here if we look at the hourly. If we go to the daily, we can see that the price action is, what do thought I'd set this, pardon me. The price action's a little bit weaker because it is, the candlestick is now negative, and you know, it's got to hold this 490 area. My thought is perhaps 489.90, right? It's got to hold that floor. If it doesn't, remember, we are under both hulls here, and so that tells us an interim high has been made. That's how you read the hull. Once you dip below it, you know an interim high is being made. And once you slip above it, you know an interim low is being made. So that's what we're seeing here. Let's go to the 1 hour chart. Very heavy congestion. You can see that by the way the volume profile looks, but you can also see that for the 4 a.m. candlestick and the 8 a.m. candlestick. So we're caught in a peat bog. I would say wait for the dip, buy the value area low. That's 489.50. The move below there is 488.70. So don't buy it on the way down. Buy it on the way up, because if it loses this area, it could have another dollar to the downside. And so I wouldn't do that. But momentum is up, and we are trying to chop in and out and above these ranges. I just want to take a look at oil very quickly. We haven't stared down oil in a bit. You know that I believe due to the election, oil is going to get manipulated, and it is not going to get above 80. Now, it almost got there, right? It almost got there last week, but it didn't. And now it's all the way back down at 70. Listen, see these higher lows? See the wicks that are getting bought? They're going to get bought, but CTAs, commodity technical advisors, are very short oil. So this move up when Iran said X, Y, or Z was a squeeze that threw them out of the game, and they got right back in and went short as Iran came back and said, no, everything's going to be fine. And plus we have downside estimates anyway in terms of use because of what we think we're going to see. So this is the big thing going on here. Anything around 67 is a buy zone. It's just going to stay landlocked. It is not going to move. They will manipulate it so that it does not move. They will. Listen, believe it or not, market's manipulated. Just roll with it. Okay? It's okay. Just roll with it. Now, here we are in gold. It's up almost at 2,700. It looks pretty good. Dips are going to be buys. This is a very strong accelerant. It normally will have something like this. This is what we're going to look for. And the next time it does it, we're just going to take a multi-day swing at it, because every time it's been congesting and breaking out, it's just been running like the wind, and it needs a little bit of a pullback. So let it pull back, we'll watch it congest, and we'll take a long-term formation using the option chains. All right? Okay, everybody, that's it. I'll see you soon.